I found a love for me. Darling, just dive right in.
Hi, this is Kevin Smith with the IT Transformation Institute. Thanks for listening. This is chapter 16 in our series on world-class IT service management. And you could make a case, and I would certainly be happy to make that case, that ITSM is at the center of the IT organization. ITSM is the hub of the IT wheel in many respects, in delivering services to across the business, to all employees, to an increasing number of customers, managing assets, and the list goes on and on. And as such, if we take on the idea that IT is at the center of the business, which I believe it is, because the business is being driven by technology, the business is being driven by data more and more, and technology is strategic. Successful businesses of the next 10 to 15 years will understand how to leverage technology strategically. That puts IT at the center of the business, ITSM at the center of IT, and therefore ITSM, in many respects, is at the very center of all of the business. And ITSM, as such, ITSM is being reshaped by a lot of very powerful forces. And one of those forces are consumer forces, marketplace forces. And so we're going to today look at the consumerization of ITSM. And this is a very, again, it's a very important thing and a very good thing. Look at the influence that new devices are having and what we do in business. Look at the influence that mobility is having. Look at the influence that the pace of how we live our lives, how we expect ubiquitous access to information, how we don't want to wait, how we want everything delivered to us very personally. All of these things are in combination creating a powerful influence on what we do in ITSM every day. So we're going to take a look at some examples of that, and I hope you enjoyed today's discussion.
Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the same.
Okay, our first discussion point is what I've described as me-level support. I described this in my book on world-class IT service management. I describe it when I have a chance to talk at an event or meet with individual IT organizations. And this me-level support is about, everything's about me. And this is kind of a radical idea in the world of IT. It's not a radical idea in the consumer world. And this is another example of where ITSM is going to be connected to that world of the consumer. And that it's all about me. I want exactly what I want. I want it now. I don't want to have to wait. I don't want to compromise. And that's the model that's going to shape support for IT service management. And when I give you some of those characteristics, they're going to make perfect sense because we're used to living our lifestyle this way. Again, it's got to be fast. It's got to be very personal. It's got to be very convenient. It's got to give me a lot of value. That's what a consumer expects, and that's what the expectation has now become for anybody that we're serving in ITSM, whether it be an employee or whether it be a customer, whether it be any user of any of our systems. And it really helps to keep those ideas in mind, that it has got to be fast, it's got to be convenient, it's got to be personal. I don't want to wait, it's got to give me a lot of value. Now, the good news is that in return, users and customers are increasingly willing to give their loyalty. They expect a lot, but they give a lot in return. So this is not just one-sided. So we have to see this as an opportunity in IT service management. We're going to deliver more, we're going to deliver a better service and support experience, and we're going to get a lot back. We're going to deliver value across the business and to our clients. And in return, we're going to get happier, more productive, and more loyal employees. We're going to get happier, more productive, successful, and more loyal customers. So it's a powerful chain of dependencies that we need to embrace. We need to recognize it, and we need to embrace it, and we need to deliver to it because, as we talked about before, with ITSM at the center of IT and IT at the center of the business, this falls on us. This falls on us in ITSM, and it's a very exciting thing.
'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was.
Our second discussion point is going to explore one of the ideas we introduced in the previous segment a little bit more, and that is we have to make this very personal. And in many regards, the history of help desk and service desk in ITSM has been impersonal, because we have certainly tried to deliver a very good service and support experience, but it really hasn't been personal. We've been very focused traditionally on metrics that were centered around productivity, efficiency, cost savings. And yes, I know some of you will be thinking, well, we've started to move past that. Well, yes, some organizations have, but hundreds and thousands of organizations haven't. So the ITSM, let's look at the ITSM of the future. World-class ITSM has to be personal. And that's not just a little personal. That means it has to be very personal. Now, how many of you could say, our service management experience is very personal? Well, maybe a few, but not a lot. So we all have to take on that challenge, make it very personal, and that needs to be one of the first words that come to mind when people think about the ITSM of the future. Let's go back to those few key words. It has to be fast, it has to be convenient, it has to be personal, it has to deliver a lot of value. So in making it personal, we're making every employee, every user, every customer feel like we're very focused on them and very focused on making them be at their best every day. And then that is fantastic, because what it does is it unlocks the value in every person in the organization, and it also creates business velocity. And by being personal, we allow people to be more productive, and then we allow the business to go faster. We're unlocking this business velocity, which is a very important strategy. It's a very important idea, and it's a very important strategy. So in ITSM, we can't look for somebody else to do that. We can't be waiting around for somebody else to make this happen. We have to make it happen, because in doing that, we make everybody better and we make the whole business go faster, which is on our short list. And this is something that's at the center of this consumerization of ITSM, is making it not a little personal, but really personal.
Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes,
Okay, our third discussion point for today is around adaptable. We have to make this experience in ITSM adaptable. And the reason is because we've seen so much change in the last 10 years. A change in how people want to work, a change in technology, a change in devices. Just go back 10 years and look at the minimal, very small role that mobile devices had in the IT landscape. And now they are becoming the prevalent device. Very, very soon, they will be the primary use case that we have to support. And that was crazy talk just not that long ago. But we have to be adaptable, because this rate of change is not going to slow down. Changes will keep coming at us. There will be new devices. There'll be devices we don't even know how to describe today that will continue to change how we live and how we work. And so we can't for a second think that, okay, we got this figured out, we're good. We've got this change thing nailed. Or we have a snapshot in time and that's the model that we're going to work to, because that's just not going to work. We have to expect that change will continue. We have to expect that the pace of change will increase, not slow down, and that dramatic changes are going to come our way. And what we have to be doing now in IT service management is we have to embrace this idea, and we have to become great at change. We have to become great at embracing changes in the marketplace, changes in the business, opportunities that the business has. And this is another important influence that the consumerization of ITSM has, is that this landscape of the marketplace, this landscape of business is going to change, keep changing indefinitely, and change is going to happen faster than ever. So everything that we do, we have to account for change. We have to account for and dramatic improvements in scalability. We have to account for new devices. We have to account doing business globally. We have to account for doing business around the clock. And all of these things are enabled by IT. So we have to take it on, because if we don't, nobody else will, and we can't wait because that puts the business in the position of waiting, and that's unacceptable.
Dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass.
Well, I hope those discussion points have helped us focus, if for just a few minutes, on the consumerization of ITSM, and recognize that these consumer-born ideas are really important to the business, which make them important to my IT, which make them important to ITSM, to the service desk, and to the help desk. And that this speed and convenience idea really saves precious time. And for the future, for today and looking into the future, time could be potentially our greatest asset, our most precious asset. Because when we save time for an employee, when we save time for a customer, we're unlocking tremendous value. The value that might be the hardest to get to of all the things that we look at is time, the value that's born of time. And it's important because in doing this, we're enabling the business to be more successful. But even beyond that, we're building a loyalty. We're building this remarkably powerful thing in the business and with our customers, which is loyalty. Bringing customers back to the business time and time again, because we are delivering this experience that is personal. We're delivering an experience, doesn't matter what we do. Doesn't matter if you're in healthcare, higher education, manufacturing, retail, legal, the list goes on and on. In any of those industries, we can look at how important it is to save time and to build loyalty. And this is a very precious thing that is built around speed and convenience and personal service. And these are all at the heart of how we have dramatically transformed the consumer experience in the past decade. Think about how the consumer experience has changed in the past decade. There's so many great examples of that in Amazon and electronic commerce and Apple and the list goes on, and Google, and how we do email, how we communicate, social media, and Twitter and Facebook, and the list goes on and on. All those things are now converging. So we need to have to take on this challenge of all these things converging in ITSM. And that is going to become the profile that we have to deliver in IT service management. And know it, believe it, embrace it, and we will now drive that forward. So I hope this brief discussion has helped. Take advantage of our resources on the website. The website address is on the slides at the beginning and end of the session today. Look at our training offerings, look at our consulting offerings. We also have short videos that explain each of the consulting offerings. Check out our books. And as always, we love to hear from you. So use the contact form, drop us a note, let us know what's on your mind. We're happy to talk to you. We're happy to help you any way we can. And we're happy to hear your suggestions on what more we can provide. And we're continuing to build out this video series. We have the General IT video series we call The Wonderful World of IT. We have this series, the World-Class IT Service Management series, and we have the series on IT transformation. So hopefully there's something there for everybody. As always, we know you're busy. We appreciate you listening, and let's make IT great.
And I saw you